picture our solar system right now. The sun is shining, planets are orbiting in this perfect clockwork harmony. You're just going about your day, completely trusting the unwavering laws of the universe. But then, without any warning, boom, it's gone. Just like that, the very anchor of our existence is completely erased. 8 minutes. That's it. That is the exact amount of time humanity has before we even realize the end of the world has already begun. We get 8 minutes of absolute blissful ignorance, all while the cosmos is silently shifting into total chaos. So what actually happens to Earth if the sun just ceases to exist? What is the exact timeline of our extinction? Well, buckle up because we're about to map out the final days, years, and millennia of a planet that's suddenly been cast straight into the abyss. Seriously, for those first 8.5 minutes, you wouldn't have a clue. You'd still see the sun up in the sky, you'd still feel its warmth on your face, but it's a terrifying illusion. See, sunlight takes exactly 510 seconds to cross the vacuum of space, and during that silent countdown, Earth is basically bathed in ghost light. You're looking at the final rays of a star that is already dead. Now, you might think we'd instantly feel the loss of the sun's gravity, right? We wouldn't. The physics of our universe offer absolutely zero escape here. Einstein's theory of general relativity actually proved that gravity isn't instantaneous. It ripples through space at the exact same speed as light. So, the very moment those last photons hit the Earth and our sky goes pitch black, that gravitational anchor snaps. At that exact second, literally everything changes. Because we don't just sit there in the dark. We are launched. Tethered to absolutely nothing, Earth violently breaks its orbit. We're cast off in a completely straight line, hurtling into the void of space at 18 miles per second. That is 30 kilometers every single second, plunging deep into the unknown and leaving the warmth of our solar system behind forever. In this darkness, it spreads like a massive cosmic wave. Just 2 seconds after our sky goes black, the moon completely vanishes. It literally has no more light to reflect. But if you look further out, because light travels at a finite speed, we'd actually be able to stare into the deep dark and watch our planetary neighbors snuff out one by one. Jupiter would hang there in the sky for another 30 to 60 minutes as the final wave of sunlight washes over it, and then, just like that, it dies too. Down here, the lights on Earth would stay on, well, only as long as our fragile electrical grids survive. But outside those tiny artificial glows, the Milky Way galaxy suddenly becomes our only source of visible light. And it provides exactly 1/300th the light of a full moon. So we are left in this near-total, paralyzing darkness, just staring out into a completely indifferent universe. Up on the surface, a rapid global extinction begins immediately. The entire food chain just collapses. Photosynthesis ends the very second the light disappears. Within days, small plants wither, the herbivores starve, and the carnivores quickly follow. In the end, only the scavengers remain, feeding on the dead in the pitch dark, until they too eventually freeze. Now what about the giants, the massive redwoods and oaks? Surprisingly, they don't starve. Their slow metabolism and massive stores of internal sugar could technically keep them alive in the dark for decades. But they won't make it. The cold is going to take them first. The water and sap inside their trunks will rapidly freeze solid, literally shattering them from the inside out. Without the sun constantly pumping energy into our atmosphere, Earth just radiates its remaining heat away exponentially. Within a single week, the global average drops to freezing. By the end of the first year, surface temperatures plummet to minus 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And guys, it doesn't stop there. It will not stabilize until the crust hits a bone-crushing minus 400 degrees. At these crazy extremes, the very air we breathe turns against us. Fast forward 10 to 20 years, and dewdrops will start forming on the frozen ground. But it won't be water. It will be liquid air. The atmosphere gets so intensely cold that the very gases we rely on actually condense. They form clouds, they precipitate, and eventually oxygen itself will fall from the dead sky as snow. Absolutely wild. So, is there any hope at all on the surface? Well, only if you acted immediately. The only human survivors would be those lucky enough to secure a spot in a geothermal sanctuary, huddled around hotspots like Yellowstone or Iceland, or those locked deep inside underground bunkers, entirely sustained by nuclear fuel. It's a grim, dystopian existence in a completely frozen world. But here's the thing. Beneath that frozen, dead crust lies a truly staggering truth. Earth doesn't actually need the sun to stay warm on the inside. Our planet's core maintains a blazing 5,000 degrees Celsius entirely on its own. About 20% of that is primordial, just leftover violent heat from when the Earth was originally crushed into existence. The other 80%, that comes from radioactive elements constantly decaying deep in the core. And this massive internal engine creates a really bizarre phenomenon. Yes, the oceans freeze, but only on the surface. Because ice is less dense than liquid water, it floats. So those miles of thick, impenetrable surface ice actually act as a perfect thermal blanket. It becomes this absolute cosmic shield, completely protecting the deep sea from the apocalyptic freeze happening right above it. Which brings us to the true inheritors of our world, extremophiles. Way down in the crushing pressure of the pitch-black ocean floor, huddled around boiling hydrothermal vents that are spewing superheated water, life doesn't just survive, it prospers. It exists completely and entirely independent of the sun. I mean, think about the stark contrast here. While every single thing on the surface goes extinct without photosynthesis, deep ocean life runs on a vastly different engine altogether, chemosynthesis. These organisms are pulling heat, methane, and sulfur straight from the Earth's fiery veins, converting pure toxins directly into the energy they need to live. Down there in the black depths, the eternal food chain just keeps on going. Bacteria process the toxic minerals, tube worms and clams eat the bacteria, depositing those minerals right back into the vents in a perfect closed loop. They're gonna thrive down there for billions of years, completely ignorant that the sun ever even existed. To them, the apocalypse literally never happened. Now, let's fast forward 1 billion years. Our rogue, sunless planet hasn't just been sitting still in the dark. Remember, we're traveling through the void at 18 miles per second. In that time, Earth would have crossed over 100,000 light years. We literally would have traversed the entire Milky Way galaxy, drifting silently past thousands of strange new stars. At this point, Earth is no longer just a dead rock. It is Spaceship Earth. Think about it. It's a massive, rogue interstellar vessel, shielded in miles of armor-like ice, completely powered by a massive internal nuclear engine, and carrying millions of living passengers deep beneath its frozen hull. Which leaves us with the ultimate mystery. As this magnificent spaceship sails through the cosmos, could it eventually find a new harbor? Could Earth fall into the gravitational pull of a new star? A new sun that finally melts the ice, allowing alien civilizations to discover those extremophiles? Or perhaps to uncover whatever is left of us?